to add fire propagation to a Unity project. First, I'm going to add a terrain and wind zone. Then, I'm going to add grass and textures to the terrain. I'm using two textures, one of grass and the other that will be used for the scorch mark texture. And then I'm going to do the same for the grass details, one for normal and the other for burnt grass, and paint some of the normal grass onto the terrain. The fire manager is required for the fire propagation to work. A prefab can be found in the prefab folder. Add one of these as a child of the terrain. The fire manager is where the global settings for the fire behaviour can be set. Add the wind zone in the scene to the script. Now I'm going to set up some fuel values, increasing the combustion rate and decreasing the impact wind has on all fires. Terrain textures are possible fuels. As I've set two terrain textures I'm going to set two for the array size. The first is the normal grass, so I will set it to flammable and some fuel values. The second, array index 1, is the scorch mark texture, so I'll set that to the burn texture. Now an object is required to start a fire, so I'm going to create a cube with a fire igniter script attached to it. Attach a prefab to be instantiated for the fire, and I'm going to set the cube to be destroyed on impact with the terrain. So now there is fire propagation removing grass and replacing the grass terrain texture. To make use of the burnt grass detail, disable remove grass once burnt in the fire manager. Making fire propagate over and affect objects in the scene is easy to do. Create a second cube, attaching a fire node chain script, which is a container for fire nodes, and setting it to destroy the cube once the fire has consumed all of the nodes in it. Add two fire nodes linked to each other, allowing the fire to propagate the object and setting the fuel values for each node. Make sure the object with the fire node chain has a collider component attached to it. Now the fire will spread over and destroy the flammable cube object. There are more settings that can be modified to affect the behaviour and appearance of the propagating fire. See the description for more details.